What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Duke Reacts, part of the Duke and Don channel. And guys, thank you so much for being here, because guess what? Today's episode, we're gonna have ourselves a doozy, all right? We got a jam-packed episode today, all right? And it is brought to you by our boy, Dwayne Kramer. Shout out to you, because you are kicking in some gems right now that we are about to do some mean reaction to. And guys, honestly, we wouldn't have been here without you guys. So thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate it. And for those of you guys who are new, shout out to you as well. Don't forget to hit the like button before you get on over here and watch the show, because I guarantee you it is gonna be a good one. So sit back, fellas, kick your feet up, grab yourself some popcorn, because this one's gonna be a doozy. All right, so the first video we're gonna cover, I mean, real talk, it's actually pretty screwed up. All right, you're gonna watch the interaction between a baby mama, all right, and her daughter. All right, we're gonna get an insight to how some of these single moms out here be raising their daughters. All right, and for a lot of y'all, this may hit too close to home, and for most people, well, you know what, this might just be a shocking thing, because it's real out here the way mothers are talking to their daughters, all right? And I want you guys to pay attention to this, because you won't even realize that these people are even mothers and daughters the way they interact. Without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look.
So you just gonna sit here and look at me like this?
I don't like you.
You ain't got to like me, bitch. I ain't the fuck thing. You should not like your baby daddy. And you don't.
I don't like none of y'all. I don't like you, his mammy, his sister, none of y'all. His kids. I don't like y'all.
You gonna get mad at me because you fucked the son of a crackhead.
Whoa.
You fucked the son of a crackhead. Who the fuck get pregnant from a son of a crackhead and you mad at me? You mad at me because you fucked the crackhead son.
How many kids you got?
Who?
How many kids you got?
How many kids?
Time out. Okay, time out. I don't understand this, all right? So right off the bat, you have a mother here who basically has nothing better to do than to floss on Instagram, right? And while she's doing this, she's basically trying to expose her daughter. And one thing I've noticed about these situations is a lot of these women, man, why is it that when you talk about mom and daughter relationships, they always turn toxic when a lot of these women get to a certain age, right? You never really understand this. And Kevin Samuels, he did an episode on this not too long ago, right? When he was talking about how mothers are really just putting their daughters out here and not really setting them up for the real world to really be able to not only seek out there and go ahead and find a man that's willing to stick around with them, but really go out there and really make decisions that are going to be beneficial for them. And right now we're in a situation where a lot of modern women, they're making decisions that, benefit them in the short term and doesn't really necessarily pan out in the long term. And you see it in this situation, right? And you see how this woman is coming at her daughter talking about, you dated a crackhead, you had kids by a crackhead. So doesn't that by definition reflect on you because you're her mother? Like, I never understood this shit. Like, you're her mom, so that means directly speaking, you had control over she had the situation to deal with, over how she grew up. Because real talk, just even looking at her and how she is just talking to you and dealing with you, she's like a mini you. So whatever you did, how you brought her up, good job. Because I can guarantee you, if she's marrying somebody or dealing with somebody that's a crackhead, you're probably even worse. So, I mean, it's fucking crazy how you can get out here and talk to your own kid like that. That's ridiculous.
How many kids you got?
According to the state, bitch, none.
How many kids?
Not even you. My womb has reset itself. It has reset itself, so bitch, my womb, bitch, is at
kids,
zero,
so
ho. It's 2021, I ain't got no motherfucking kids. Stop playing with me, ho.
You have 4 kids, so that means 3 different niggas nutted in a crackhead's daughter.
Damn,
okay?
hold on. So she said, according to the state, she's got 0 kids. First of all, let me get this myth out of the way, okay? Yo, JJ, okay? Ain't no resetting that motherfucker. If you got 4 kids coming out that box, it's over with. It's called overused, all right? The average family is the size of 4 kids, okay? So you done, it's over with, all right? So there's no reset or whatnot. That is just past box, okay? Ain't nobody need to be dealing with you. You need to go find your kids and deal with them. But then you're talking about, you're claiming like it's some kind of weird flex. Like, according to the state, the state says I got no kids. So the state took your kids from you? I mean, is that what? I'm sorry. What else is she trying to say? Are you trying to say that the state took money from you? Is that what you're trying to say right now? Because if that's what you're trying to say, that means you're more irresponsible, right? Having the state take your kids from you, that means you were behaving in such a irresponsible way that even the state. Right, even the state that they're all supportive of women, right? Because they almost always default to the woman, are saying, nah, this chick ain't good enough. This chick, she can't hold on to kids, all right? And you're sitting there bragging about that like that's a weird fucking flex. That's crazy. That is crazy. So according to the situation, she's coming back at you, right? Because you trying to call your daughter out, and in front of, first of all, here's one thing I never understood, right? A lot of these people, why do you have to put your business out there on social media? I never understood this, bruh. There's certain things that you should be keeping in private, and you should keep that to yourself and amongst your family and your close friends. But nowadays, we live in a situation where people just feel the need to just air out their grievances and air out the world's problems just so everyone can see. And I don't understand that. Like, is that for attention? Is that to feel good? Like, what is that? What is that situation where you're just sitting here, when you're going through some situations, some serious situations, you just want to go out there and air it out to everybody? I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to tell you this right now. Not everybody gives a shit about you, all right? It's a tough pill it's a tough pill to swallow, right? Some of y'all swallowing some of these red pill, blue pill, purple pill, all these damn pills out here, all right? Take this pill, all right? I'll call it the reality pill, all right? Because it's a tough fucking pill to swallow. Not a whole lot of people out there are caring about you. Matter of fact, for those of you guys out there making decisions just to go out there and think you're going to impress people, I'm going to tell you this, all right? Most people don't give a shit about what you got. And a lot of times, they're only tuning in to see where you are at in life to compare to where they're at. And if you're somewhere above where they think that you're at, they're just going to hate. And they're somewhere below, guess what? They're going to hate. People generally aren't invested in your interest to grow unless they're your close friends that you've developed, your relationships, things like that. People who are actually connected to you, all right? Hence the reason why you go to those same people for guidance, people who are actually going to help you out because they call them close friends and family members for a reason. A lot of y'all out here, your nearest close friend, your nearest family member is your goddamn Instagram page. It's your Instagram live. It's your Facebook live. You go out here, you air all your business out like niggas ain't gonna be here and laugh at you. That's what we do. We come here and we clown you because you do dumb shit. This is freaking crazy. So when you have a situation like this, and it's a situation where you're supposed to actually have a conversation with your daughter, you have to do that in private. But getting on live and calling her a baby daddy a crackhead, meanwhile the state done took your kids because they realized you were too crazy to freaking take care of your kids. I mean, think about that for a second, guys. Think about that for a freaking second, right? Because we live in a gynocentric world, as some of these guys like to call it, right? We live in a gynocentric world, and you're telling me that in this matriarchy that we have found ourselves in, you found yourself in a situation where you can't hold on to your kids. That makes you worse off than your daughter. And who the hell are you to judge a kid dating a crackhead? Look at a mama, if she even had a mama. That's crazy.
So, technically your daddy ain't nothing shit. If you knew how small your daddy dick was, if you knew how small your motherfucking daddy dick was, bitch, he ain't nut. That bitch nutted on my lip and it swam to the top, bitch. You know how the fuck you think I ain't know he was your daddy? Huh? Your daddy ain't got no goddamn dick. Your daddy ain't got no motherfucking dick. Talking about your daddy fuck son. Your daddy ain't fuck shit. Yo, bitch, I fucked your daddy. Bitch, and quite frankly, I fucked him for $100 against inside club at sex that night. Bitch, so I can go pussy pop in the VIP section where big dick ballers was at. Cause your small dick daddy, he wasn't no motherfucking baller. He wasn't no motherfucking baller at all.
Whoa. I can see why the state took your kids away. You are a horrible excuse for a mother. Oh my God, y'all hear what she just said? She just said the only reason why she had that daughter or had sex with the daughter's father was because to get inside a club, to get into the VIP, to see where the baller was at. Woman, you are the definition of trash. We gotta start calling these. We gotta start calling these people out, because when y'all sitting here talking about when we come into the defense of all these single moms, not just because you're a mother doesn't mean you're fit to be a mom. All right, there's two different things. All right, someone can just mother a child and not be there to take care of that child. Look at how we're raising babies out here in environments where we're already kneecapping them in terms of succeeding, right? And you over here hearing a woman just casually talking about, yeah, you know, your baby daddy ain't shit. I mean, first of all, let's talk about this for a second, right? How many of you ladies out here watching right now? And I want to take a moment in the chat, all right? I want to take a moment. I want to talk to you guys in the chat. I want to talk to you guys in the comment section, right? How many of you guys, ladies, right now, if you guys have kids, all right? Or imagine if you do have kids, or you have a daughter, right? Because I have a daughter, I have a kid. So if you guys have kids, right? Would you imagine talking to your kids the exact same way, on the exact same level as this woman is talking to her daughter right now? Can you imagine yourself talking to your kid like that? I want to hear it. Real talk. I want to hear it. Because no self-respecting person would literally have a conversation like that is just so frank with their daughters, talking about, no. I effed your baby daddy. He didn't F in me, and he didn't have a big D. All right, he didn't have a big D. He nutted on my lip. All right, he nutted on my lip, and it swam up there. Like, what is that? What is that? This is why when we talk about, you know, building Black America and building this stuff, right? This is the kind of stuff that's preventing us from actually getting to that point, all right? Because we have women out there who are afraid to call these kind of women out for the kind of trash that they are, right? And reproducing the same trash to the point where her daughter, to no fault of her own, let's just be real, all right? No fault of her own. I'm going to say it there right now, all right? Through her daughter, no fault of her own, marries or deals with a crackhead. She has babies by a crackhead. You see how the cycle perpetuates down. And the woman here doesn't even see her as her fault. Matter of fact, she sees her daughter basically as a competition to her. That's basically what it is. The way she's talking to her like that and trying to expose her on social media like that. First of all, why would you get on Instagram Live to try to expose your daughter like that? That doesn't even make any sense to me. Unless you were trying to literally put her down. So don't come to me about this sisterhood and nonsense whenever I hear this crap, because the biggest put downs of Black women are other Black women, and it starts from their homes, because the vast majority of them out there are single mothers, and this is what the daughters have to deal with. Real talk. Talking about the only reason why you had a human being, you gave birth to a human being, was because you banged an ain't shit dude just to get into a club where the other dude's at. Where the hell did that land you? 10 years later, right? You got yourself a daughter. You over here smoking on Instagram Live trying to lambaste her. That's where it got you. It got you nowhere. See, I never understood this, man. Like, why? So this woman valued, all right, the club, going to the club, partying up for that one night over actually dealing with the kid for 18 years. Because clearly she didn't do it right if the state says no, if the state says zero, because she clearly wasn't ready. So it begs to differ. Why? And I always have this question. I always want to ask this question because it always confuses me, guys. All right? Why is it that women feel so comfortable in a situation to just have kids? Right? To just have kids and try to figure out how they can do it by themselves, disregarding the father, right? Why do so many women nowadays think that they can do this shit alone? I've always wondered that question, because right now we have ample evidence and it's everywhere. And a lot of you guys, the stats is in line. You're failing at it. So why is it we're more comfortable being baby mamas than being wives, than building families? All right, Black women, I don't want to hear anything about building a Black family, because this shit starts with you. These ain't shit dudes out here that are running around. These ain't shit girls out here that are running around. These ain't shit baby mamas out here that are moving around. All these kind of people, they're exact result of the decisions not only that you made, but your mother's made and your mother's made to make this mess in the first place. Ladies, this is the time that we got to start educating each other on this mess. Like, literally, y'all in the chat right now, we all got to start checking sisters when they out here talking this nonsense. It's crazy.
He was sitting there broke, needing some goddamn coochie, paying $100 for coochie for car sex, bitch.
$100 for car
Hell
sex?
no. I gotta start my motherfucking live over, because what you ain't gonna do is fucking embarrass me on my motherfucking live, ho. It's a new goddamn year. It's a new motherfucking year. I ain't taking no fucking L's this year, bitch. I'm the shit. Or whatever.
No. Let's stop. I'm gonna stop this shit right here. I'm gonna stop this shit right there. No. It's 2021, and you already starting off with an L. you have already started off as a failure, bruh. How you go? No. You don't even need to start that live over, bro. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. This is. Oh, I'm so freaking stunned that there are people like this out there. You know what I'm saying? That this is crazy. And you always think about the child support situation, the child support court, when you talk about not alimony, but child support payments and the way the court systems they treat men versus women. This is what I'm talking about, man. This is why we got to start having a push for more equal kind of situation. And there is, to a certain extent, actually, it's actually more equal than actually what we think. The problem is, a lot of men in this country don't understand what the rights are when it comes to the family courts, right? We don't understand what our rights are, because in situations that I went through, man, like I literally fought for my daughter. I went to court, I threw it down, I threw everything down that I had, because I knew, like, other than that, what's the point? Right? What's the point of going through a 4-year marriage when, I'm not gonna, even get to see my kid the way I want to see my kid? So goddamn right, I'm gonna fight for 50%. Now I got 46%, right? 46% placement, but that's still better than if I didn't take this situation to the court, right? This is why, first of all, women, we gotta start being selective, all right? Because when we talk about the chicken or the egg, right? We talk about who's responsible. Who do we blame for this? Is it the men? It's not the men, it's you. It starts with you. You guys are mothers, right? You guys are the mother. You guys help create this life that we have, all right? You guys help nurture this life that we have. So essentially, you guys have to be the situation to not only figure out who it is in terms of selection to be able to be with, right? The right man. Teaching your daughters how to basically look for character, how to look for integrity, how to look for all these different situations that are going to put her in a good spot. That way, when she's dealing with the man, she's going to know she's dealing with the real one. Someone who's not going to bail on her kid, on his kid when shit gets tough. Someone who's going to stand there like a goddamn rock and lead the way throughout this world. That's what that's what you need to be training your daughters what to look for. But unfortunately, we got the blind leading the blind out here, where it's mainly a lot of y'all women trying to compete with these younger women out here, trying to basically, you're listening to them and they don't even know what the fuck they're doing. You're supposed to be educating them, not the other way around. You're supposed to be leading this one. That's it. Otherwise, it's just gonna get worse. It's just gonna get worse till we get to the point where everybody's hurting. Even though we're all feeling it right now, everybody's going to get to the point where we're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you know what's going to happen? Y'all going to have to come to the table with something. And enough of this talk where it's I bring this, I bring that, I bring my degree, I bring my education. None of that. Y'all have to bring something real, something tangible, something that's actually going to benefit the opposite sex. Otherwise, if you want to do by yourself, that's all you got. I'm done with this story, bro, because it's just crazy how that situation went down. But we're going to move on to the next video, all right? This next one here, this next one kind of threw me off guard, ladies and gentlemen. I just had to tell you guys right here, because real talk, like, I didn't expect this from this particular channel, but y'all got to know I fucks with my boy, the lead attorney, all right? He's been putting out some big content, and, real talk, he's a really good guy. You could tell he understands the craft, right? He understands what it is that he does. So he had a live the other day where he was kind of, it was like a little Duval live. He was trying to go over certain situations that were going on with that, and they came around to a conversation where they were talking about marriage, and they were talking about prenups and divorce and stuff like that. And they had this wild ass lady. I can't believe that I actually missed this gem, but like, real talk, they had this wild ass lady who basically comes on the live. I mean, I think she's like a pharmacist or some shit, right? And she's talking about playing games with these dudes' hearts and shit in divorces like it was just a sport. Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm telling you, the madness in this world, it's I can't, like, just when you think things are crazy, there's just someone else out there that's gonna be like, nah, hold my energy drink, all right? I got you. Let me light this bitch up. That's what we about to go through today. So let's go ahead and get on with the
talking video. About, should there even be marriages today? Kind of, what's your take on some of these issues?
Well, I mean, I love marriage. I've done it a few times. So, that's my thing,
A few times.
And I hate to say, in my younger day, I used to see it as a sport. I got married for sports. I did get married for the wrong reasons because a lot of women, they don't know how to, cash in on a marriage.
Oh, here
But
we
I had the
go.
formula, so I did it for fun.
Wow.
But
Okay,
now,
wait. Okay, wait. What is the formula for cashing in on a marriage? Marriage.
Hold on. Before we go into this, all right, I want y'all to peep this for a second, all right? Peep this. Pay attention. I hope y'all understood what this lady just said, all right? I hope you guys paid close attention to what she said because in that short segment that we just listened to, there was a lot said, okay? First things first. She said, all right, this woman over here, she said when she was younger, she got married multiple times. Not one, not two. I'm talking about multiple times, okay? So she got married multiple times, and she treated it as a sport. Pay attention to that, right? Pay attention to that. She was running game out here. Meanwhile, all y'all ladies talking about where all the good men go. Well, how come I can't find a man, right? So just pay attention. And then she also goes into, and I hope you guys caught that, right? I hope you guys caught that, all right? She's talking about how to basically cash in, and she almost said divorce.
cash in on a marriage. Cash in on a marriage. Cash in on a marriage.
Right? So I want y'all to pay attention to this woman's mentality, okay? Because she's going to come up here acting like she's going to be ready for a new life, ready for a new change, but you got to look at the actions. This woman almost slipped up and said, hey, this is how you cash in on marriage. First of all, is marriage something you're supposed to be cashing in on? No, real talk. I want to get it from the ladies in the chat right now, okay? Ladies in the chats, ladies in the comment section, I want to hear this from you. All right? Is marriage something to be cashed in? Like, is that something that like what is it, right? When it comes down to having discussions about, okay, the protections for a man, what would be a proper protection for a man if this woman and women like this see marriage as a means to an end just to cash out, right? Should we start having a serious talks about like the prenups and how these things should be talked about and how these things should be levied? I want to know, because if we're talking about security and cashing out for women, where's the security and cashing out for men? Now, I'm not saying that this is how we should be thinking in terms of marriage, but this is the day and age that we're living in right now. We got women out here just saying, yeah, this is how this is how I did it. I've been married multiple times, and this is how I did it. It's crazy, yo.
Marriage just for fun.
We're not cashing in per se, but getting a high value man and getting them to the altar. A lot of women don't know how to do that, especially if you're a professional, because a lot of times as professional women, we lead with our education instead of leading with our hearts or with our, I guess, sexuality in a way. So a lot of women, they cannot get married to the man they want. And so, I kind of figure out the formula for it. I can teach y'all that want me to, but that'll be another
Teach
service.
us.
But yeah, one thing is with marriages, when you look to marry someone, you also want to see them as someone you can possibly divorce. And in a positive way. Like
Wait. Say that again.
When you get married to someone, you want to see them as someone you're able to divorce.
What?
As in, you don't want to get married to an asshole and he's going, they're going to rape you through a divorce.
Hold on. I can't, dog. I can't. Women, is this how y'all really thinking out here? Nah, I'm joking. I'm gonna be fair. I know it's not all y'all out here thinking like this nut job over here, but did y'all just hear what she just said? Right? When you marry a man or when you're looking for a man, you gotta look for a man that is easy to divorce. That already tells you what this woman's mindset's on. That already tells you what game she's on right there. All right? She's saying, before I even think about dealing with you, I gotta size you up to make sure that you are easy to take the court and take over the calls. That's essentially what she's saying. Because here's the thing, it goes to my point that I said earlier, fellas, all right? When you talk about divorce and you talk about alimony, when we talk about child support, a lot of times, and Lee Turney, he said this in a previous episode himself, right? He's talking about, listen, a lot of times the reason why guys get over the head at the coals, right, is because they don't understand the system, especially most of us African Americans out here, man. What we end up doing is we don't want to deal with the baby mama drama. We don't want to deal with the child support system. We don't deal with any of that. So we try to keep it out of the courts as much as possible. And what ends up happening is, real talk, that's where she has more power because there's no written agreement. Listen, I went through the same shit myself. I remember a time, man, this is the one time, because I was on that same BS before, right? Until like my ex taught me an important lesson, right? And made me reason. After that day, I marched my ass right to the courtroom and made sure that I had like physical papers, all right? Check it, right? Here's what happened. So after we split, everything was separated, right? We already had like an arbitrary agreement, right? It was kind of verbally on which dates I get my daughter and which day I don't get my daughter. All right. So we had that set up and the thing was going, for a while. And then towards a certain point in time, what started happening is she would all of a sudden, instead of the usual pickup spots and the drop off spots and how we had it set up initially, what she would end up doing is she'll change the meetup spot, right? The meetup spot would be 50 miles from where it originally was, right? And then making me jump through the hurdles to be able to go do that, right? And sometimes I'd complain and have my thoughts on it and say, hey, I don't appreciate you doing this, but it was something that, trying to avoid the child support system, don't want to get caught up into that. Essentially what ended up happening was, right, it got so bad when she was playing all these little games, moving my kids around, changing the pickup locations, changing the pickup times, all these different things, that one day where I actually had my kid, dropped her off at a daycare, which was actually a cousin of hers. It wasn't really a daycare, but she kind of ran the whole situation. And what ended up happening was, right, we had an agreement where I'm going to come there to pick up my daughter, right, on that day, right? I go there, try to pick up my daughter. She barricades herself in the house with the babysitter, her cousin, right? They barricaded themselves in the house and said I couldn't have my kid, right? And I'm sitting there like wilding out, and I'm like, yo, you better open this fucking door. My daughter's in there. I need to go ahead and get my kid, right? And she was wilding out, doing this. You not taking your daughter home. You not doing this. I'm gonna call the cops if you don't leave. And here's the thing, okay? I'm a black dude, all right? Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you this, all right? I got no problem with cops, okay? I don't wild out when cops come, okay? I code switch. That's what I do. So cops come after they call them, right? We're dealing with this whole BS and whatnot, and two of them were brothers, thank God, right? So they both walked up. One was talking to me about the whole situation. I was explaining it to him, and the other one went to the house to go talk to my ex and all that, right? And when I was explaining the situation, what happened, I literally, no shit, I saw on his face, he literally just sighed and his head went down and he looked dead at me, right? And he said, brother, I've seen this way too many times. You need to take your ass to the courthouse, right? Because the minute I told him that I don't have like a written agreement, he was just like, you got to go to the courthouse right now. I've seen this too many times. And you know what he said to me before even the other cop came out? He said, look, I'm going to tell you this right now. We're going to have him take his statements. He's going to come here. He's going to take your statements. But ultimately, without any written paperwork, you can't take your daughter home. I can't let you we can't let you take home your daughter. But next time, if shit like this were to happen and you have it in a written agreement ordered by the courts, she can't do shit. If anything, she's going to be in contempt. That, and after that, once I went through that whole BS, I understood the power of using the court systems to your name. Now we bring it back to this evil succubus over here, right? This demonic discount Kamala Harris over here, okay? This woman is basically saying find a man that's easy to divorce. She's telling you find a man that's gonna soften up on her. Find a man that's not even gonna fight. Find a man that's weak. That's what it is. Someone who's a really nice guy that she can beat over the head with, right? So this man not only has, because most of these ladies talk about it's so hard to find a good man. She found multiple good men and screwed them over for sport. So keep that in mind.
Ooh, excuse me, like rake you, I meant to say, through a divorce. You want to get someone that kind of where their heart is, where their mind is. So if things should go left, you don't have to worry about turning into a vicious kind of person, even though things do happen. But yes, all of the husbands I married, I kind of figured it would be easy to divorce because I knew they were decent men to begin with.
Wow. So then you saw them and then you sized them up as to how difficult or easy they would be to get divorced. And that was that was one of the criterions that you used for this marriage. It was kind of a sport that you're saying?
At the beginning, because like I said, to be honest, as Black women, it is hard to get married, period, but to a good man. I'm not bragging because there's nothing to brag about, but I've done it more than twice, but less than 10 times. I just put it like that. So
So okay,
and there's nothing to be proud of. It's nothing to be proud of.
why is it? Why do you say that?
Hold up. First of all, shout out to the lead attorney for pushing back on that nonsense. Like, real talk, you notice how she started talking about when she got the moment she got the pushback. As a black woman, you know how hard it is. That old trope is dead, honey. Okay, that is dead because y'all out here, y'all the ones who are driving this thought culture. A lot of y'all black women. So as a black woman, you want to talk about finding it hard. Look at these other black women that are screwing the game up for all y'all over here, including you. You are screwing the game up because you married all these good men and screwed them all over. That's all you. So when you talk about as a black woman, it's an old trope to defer and remove all semblance of accountability. And guys, I'm telling you, man, the accountability dodging is on a completely different level. It's over 9,000 at this point.
Hard to get married to a good black man.
Just because of just people in general aren't what we're supposed to be. We don't have substance. We're just not built forward tough like we used to. We just don't have any foundation like we used to back in the day. So just that's with men and women. So especially with men, y'all just
time out. You see how she just turned around and put everything on the man? Oh God. Why? Like, you just said not too long ago that you married good men for sport. Then when you got the pushback, you gonna come out here and say, as a black woman, okay, it is so hard out here to find me a good man. Nah, man, I don't buy that bullshit. You know why? Because I see tons of black women all the time, good black women that end up with good black men. Now, some of those good black women, they may have had past, but they actually have situations when they've turned things around and they're dealing with it because they understand the value of a good black man. And they're good black men all over the place. Matter of fact, you found 3 of them to marry, right? You found 3 of them. So here's the thing, all right? Because it goes to a bigger point. A lot of you women, a lot of you black women, okay, it's not that hard to find a good guy. It just turns out that you're probably not attracting the right ones. So you got to look in here to figure out what kind of energy am I putting out that is attracting all these ain't shit dudes to me. Possibly, could I be ain't shit too? So that means you need some introspection to make sure that whatever you got, this internal wiring that'll make you want to shit over all these other good men and only look at the materialistic garbage. Now, I know that's not all of you out there. I'm just saying that some of you, or actually the most of y'all, driving this culture right now, okay? Looking at all these different things right in the character, you're always gonna fall face flat. That's pretty much it. They're good men all over the place. It's just that they're being looked over because you guys aren't looking for the right things. And your mamas ain't teaching y'all to look for characters. Your daddies ain't teaching y'all to look for integrity, hard work, and focus in the man. Your parents aren't teaching you that. Matter of fact, your parents are looking to you and making the same bumbling mistakes that you're currently making, and nobody is guiding you. And that's the problem we have right now. For this woman to comfortably sit back on her old trope of tired excuses as a black woman, we can't find good black men. Look at all these good black men that have been over the head, over the coals, because they are dealing with the wrong ones. Think about it. How many black women out there found a man for them, but then decided that, you know what, I got time. I'm gonna need to go out there and explore. I'm in the middle of my education. I'm doing my bachelor's. I'm doing my master's. I'm doing this, that, all this stuff that doesn't matter. So then when you get to the point when you're old enough to realize, oh shit, damn, what really mattered was having somebody around me in this age where as I grow older, I become more vulnerable. That's how it is. Having a man is not just a wallet and just a meal and all these other things that you guys think men are. All right, we're not just a utility. We're a valuable resource to you. We're kind of like your own mini factory. Like, real talk. Like, if you find the right good man, he can learn how to build things, he can learn how to create things, he can learn how to strive. And if he has a good woman behind her, she can understand how to push this man to go beyond where he can go, right? Especially if the man is studious and focused and he has a family behind him, I guarantee you that family is gonna push him to work 10 times harder than he's working now. Why do you think when you go to corporations at the upper limits, right, they want men who are married? Because those kind of men are the kind of men that are going to stay in the corporate office longer, and they're going to work 10 times harder because they got mouths to feed back home. It's biology 101. This is how we've survived, right? Men, if we know that we have something big that we could potentially lose, we work 10 times harder to preserve it, to make it work, to make it function. That's what we work hard to do. That's why we do it. A lot of y'all women, yeah, you can work hard to take care of yourself, but it's not a natural role you're supposed to be in. It's really not a natural role. It stresses a lot of women out, especially doing this for a long period of time. I'm gonna tell you something, man. When I worked in finance and I was selling insurance, I was selling financial products and stuff like that. All right, one of the biggest things that when we had meetings and we'll talk about it at the agency was long-term care. All right, when we talk about long-term care, this is the biggest issue that's going to be facing a lot of Americans, and even a lot of Americans don't understand that this is an issue that's going to be facing them in the years to come. But long-term care is very expensive. Hire somebody to come wipe your butt and come, clean your bed span and wipe your stuff when you're too old to take care of yourself. That's expensive, and we're getting to a situation where a lot of people are going to be living alone. We have all of these apartments being thrown up so you can, further live in your little sections and little pockets. Everyone is living alone, so we're continuing this trend where people are going to be dying alone, and they're going to need access to quality care to take care of them in old age, right? You're going to need access to nurses, hospice, all these different things to make sure that you're getting the adequate care. But guess what? This is where a lot of people, when they get into their old age, this is where they're gonna fail, because a lot of them, it's expensive. Think about it. Look at the premiums on some of these things right now. Look at the costs on some of these retirement homes and nursing homes. They're freaking expensive. And a lot of young women, or soon to be old, like these older millennial women and stuff like that, they're not thinking about this sort. They're not. What are you going to do when you're going to get older? And this is what Kevin Samuels talk about all the time. And this is why I love when he brings this up, right? I love it when he brings this up. Who's going to take care of you when you're older? And don't be thinking about family and whatnot, because we don't have families today. That don't exist right now. Everybody wants to run away from the family. Everyone wants to be independent. We don't have that. So who's going to take care of you? A lot of you guys aren't even planning for the long term. So keep that in mind when you hear people over here talking about this nonsense about, moving from one marriage to another marriage like it's a weird kind of flex. You're crazy.
Have options, and especially black men, y'all just want to explore all the options. Y'all really, in my opinion, don't feel like y'all looking for the right thing when it comes to marriage. Y'all just
wait. You're saying that black men don't look for the right thing in terms of marriage, but 3 minutes ago you said that you got married for sport?
Right, yes. I'm not saying, what? I'm wrong too. Which point?
Well, I guess that was the point, I suppose, right? It's like
point is you're hypocrite. That's the point, guys. The cognitive dissonance is unreal. It's at a completely different level. You see how she couldn't bring herself to see how wrong she was. I'm
they're wrong. We all wrong. Yeah.
No, you're fucking wrong.
I keep it real. So the foundation isn't there. Just men just love to. Y'all just want to exercise your options, and it's the same with women too, who know they are in control of themselves and they know the effect they have on people. So it goes both ways. But with the guy who was having the difficulty with his wife, I want to give a different perspective, because men, y'all do love bitchy women. Y'all do. Y'all love
Stop it. Nobody listen to this woman's perspective, okay? All right? She's already starting off on the wrong foot. Ladies, okay? Men, all right? You guys already know this answer already. We do not love bitchy women, okay? Matter of fact, we run from bitchy women. Do not be a bitchy broad, okay? No one wants to deal with that, okay? The Bible says something that it's better for a man to occupy one little spot on the corner of a roof, okay, than to be in a house with a tumultuous wife, or however the quote went. I am butchering it right now, but do not listen to her. Woman, don't take this woman's advice.
Woman, y'all do, because it's like a form of a chase. So I think he just should kind of like pull back and let her come to him, but I don't think he should necessarily jump to divorce or anything like that, because what is happiness? Like, I think we place too much value on happiness, but happiness is fluid. Happiness never stays the same. So I think that's like a wrong metric to base everything on happiness, you know? And what do y'all think?
All right, time out. Okay. All right. Although we going at her pretty hard because she's saying some ridiculous, flat out crazy nonsense, but you know, I have to agree with that. All right, I agree with that point, and yes, I agree. You know, I can have multiple thoughts in my head at the same time, and you guys should too. It's called critical thinking. All right, think about it. So what she's right about, yes, you know, happiness is a fluid thing. All right, it's one of those things where it's not. It shouldn't be a goal when we're talking about relationships. It shouldn't be a goal where everyone should be striving for, because when you strive for happiness, that's when you strive to fail. Okay, because you fail to understand what the journey is really about. The journey is really about failure. That's what it is. Failure is actually the ultimate goal of life, right? And this is, it sounds crazy, but hear me out, because you learn nothing from success. You learn nothing from, you know, always having things handed down to you. What you learn is from failing, from your mistakes and things like that, right? And when we talk about happiness, right, it's not a freaking destination. It's not, right? That's how people fail when they go throughout life, because they chase all these different things. They chase money, they chase fame, they chase materialistic goodies that they think it's gonna make them happy, but it ends up making them feel worse because it's empty in the end. Happiness is found in the moment. It's found in the joy, the little joys and moments we spend each and every day, either to ourselves or with people we love. That's where happiness really comes from, okay? People who find happiness are people who surround themselves with people who are also care about them, but they can share special moments with, whether it's your loved ones, your family members, close friends, right? The things that we all somehow forgot how to do, forgot how to build. You remember all that shit? Yeah, we forgot all that. That's why we're all so miserable. That's why we're all doing drugs and all this stuff like that, right? We have the opioid crisis. It's because we've lost the ability to communicate and connect with each other. It's gone. And we have to bring that back. There was an old study, right? And they were talking about rats, and they did this to kind of understand veterans, right? And what happened is they had the situation where the rats had like nothing to do but this little drink canister that dispensed heroin laced water, right? And all the time, because the rats, you know, had nothing else to do, and it's just this, and they were isolated and whatnot, all they did was go in and drink the heroin just to get the high, to get the, you know, the dopamine effect, you know, to feel good or forget what it is, the hell that they're living in, right? It wasn't until they started integrating a lot of the population and integrating the rats together is when they realized that a lot of them were just happy playing around. They put new toys in, all that stuff. The rats were happier. They drank out of the heroin laced water less and less, right? And engaged with people more. All right. And the same thing was with veterans when they came back from the war, right? When if they found out that, oh shit, a lot of these guys are taking heroin to be able to like stay awake and be combative and, you know, do the military work. What essentially happened was these guys basically came home and they found out a bunch, because they thought, oh, we're gonna have a bunch of addicts coming home. And once they got home to their families, to their loved ones, to the people that really take care of them, when they got home to doing the hobbies and the things that they loved, right? Being back in a good, safe environment with people that love them or surround them, the drugs weren't even a thing. It was gone. So what does that tell you? The reason why society is in this mess in the first place is because we lack togetherness. We lack family. We lack communication and connection. Boys don't understand how to talk to girls anymore, and we have to figure out how to get that back. So she's right. Happiness is not a fucking destination. It's not something that you should strive for when you get married. It's not something you should strive for when you get in a relationship. When you get in a relationship, you should strive for marriage. And when you get the marriage, you should strive for a family. And when you have a family, you should strive for a legacy. That's it. It just seems like the people who are wealthy, the people who are actually powerful, the people who actually hold power, them some of the biggest families around right now. And y'all don't get that. They're the ones who pass down the knowledge to their family members, to their family members, to the family members, generational knowledge. So much so they can build an infrastructure that lasts the test of time. The Rockefellers, look at them. That's an example. The Rothschild, look at them. That's an example. Where's your family at? You over here deleting your babies from the earth, and you over here walking around in little marches wearing pink hats talking about, yeah, I'm proud that I got rid of my legacy. I'm proud that I got rid of my seed. Just think about it. Food for thought. While you killing yourself off, the strongest survive.
Listen, I think you got everybody in the chat stunned. It's very rare to come to hear a woman speak as freely as you are speaking, right? And a lot of people A lot of people are interested, right? What does Mr. Real Estate say? Hey, girl, more power to you. Teach us the game so we can avoid women like you. No offense, right? Listen.
Okay. You say that now, but I bag a lot of y'all. Y'all all say things like that. I always tell all of y'all always come back once I'm done, and y'all do. That is
all right. So
time out. She's got a point. Okay, look, listen. Do not underestimate the power of Super Sims. Okay, like listen. A girl like her, I mean, she looks like discount Kamala Harris. Okay, even her laugh.
right? It's like
No.
right? It's
like somebody said that, and it actually was Mike Pence on the debate stage. But
Yeah.
right? It's like
That sounds like Kamala Harris, bro. That's like one of those fake politician lies, bro. We already know she phony. But she's essentially, she's got a point, man. Like a lot of Sims out here, you know, they'd wipe that up. Real talk. You know, guys, the same thing, you got to understand who you're dealing with. This woman is a clear succubus, but I know hands down, I could put $100 on it, right? I know there's somebody out here that's going to take that offer. I know it. This is why y'all need to educate yourself. Pop whatever pill you got to pop to make you realize that this woman is a fraud. So that way you can come to the light and avoid these kind of people. Because guess what? There's nothing but pain and heartache coming your way. And she's already let you know she's got a fucking string of like actually dead relationships, right? She's got a string of them and she's going to bring them to your relationship. So just keep that in mind.
let's take his comment seriously for a second though. What does a man have to do to avoid a woman like you? A woman that's not going to marry him for sport.
No, that was in my younger day. I just wanted to see if I could do it. I mean, you just have to have some level of discernment. Like you have to just really, and with women, you really can't know. You cannot know. These men, they had no clue. I mean, I have no clue. It's just, you just can't.
Oh my gosh. Listen,
I mean, because if a woman is loving you right, if a woman is cooking for you, she cool with you. She's not trying to always, find out where you are and stuff, because she got her own stuff. You can't do nothing with that. You're too busy being happy and being, depleted to think about anything else. If you know what I mean by depleted.
So she's basically saying, okay, because you can't tell with these women out here. You can't tell who's a fake. You can't tell who's real. All right, because women out here, they can fake it better. Right, they can fake it for longer. And this is actually where I would say I disagree with Kevin Samuels. Right, when he talks about the whole 6 months dating for 6 months, you've known everything you need to know within 6 months. Hands down, you don't. Right, because look at Brittany Renner calling all these athletes dumb. Look at some of these other, even the lady that we talked about yesterday, talking about some. Hey, I'm gonna say that I was abused when I was younger, so that way guys won't try to have sex with me. That's literally the kind of nonsense we're dealing with. So listen, it takes longer than 6 months to vet women like this, and she even said it's too hard to tell. All right, a lot of men, they think with their little head and not their big head, so the discernment that she's talking about usually isn't used to the maximum security level that it needs to be used at. All right, a lot of these guys, they say, okay, she cleans and she can act good enough, so I can wipe that up, I can bag that. Come to find out, 6 months later, she's a complete different demon, right? She's out here trying to finesse you in court. That's what you got looking at you, right? So that's one thing you got to understand, man. 6 months to a year, it's not a long enough time. I say 3 years. I say 3 to 4 years, all right? And 3 to 4 years. Let me know in the chat. Matter of fact, I want to know. Let me know in the chat right now. How long should someone wait before they get into a relationship? I'm going to put a poll up, okay? I want to know, how long should this person wait? Is it 6 months? Is it a year, 2 years, 3 years? I want to know. Personally, I think 3 years, because you gotta be a super fake person to fake it for that long. Like to fake doing what you were doing at some day one in a relationship to keep that going. So I want to hear your thoughts on that, guys. How long should a guy wait before he decides to pop the question? I want to hear from the ladies, and fellas, I want to hear from you too as well, because this 6 month nonsense that I'm hearing, it's terrible. It's a terrible advice for guys. I don't think you should, and girls. Think for longer periods of time, all right, a man needs to wait, and while he's waiting, he needs to actively vet his girl. But women can fake it, man, and they can fake it a hell of a lot longer than 6 months. Just keep that in mind. It's
okay.
Really hard
So Manosphere Mana says, so were they wrong for marrying you? Did they make a mistake?
No. They were
Even
very
though
happy.
even though you married them for sport.
Wrong wide. I mean, we had a good time.
Oh my God, this woman is stupid.
Okay,
Oh,
so if you have a good time in a marriage
I
that the
can't,
other person is viewing as a sport, then it's all fair game.
I can't do this.
I
dog.
guess so.
Hey, stop. Whatever y'all doing, hit that like button right now. Hit that like. And y'all over here ghost watching, hit that subscribe button right now. This is too damn crazy, bro. This is too damn nuts. I want to see more likes. Yep. Get me some likes right now because I can't. Here, you see how the cognitive dissonance, the lack of accountability is unreal. So that person says, so were they wrong for marrying you, right? The string of relationships, the string of good men, the marriages that you left behind and destroyed just so you can take them over the head with divorce court, right? So she's over here saying no. And the reason why it wasn't a mistake for those guys is because they all had fun. Like, what the fuck is that shit, bruh? Like, fun? See, this is the thing, man, especially when it comes to, like, black women, and I've seen this a lot, and I've seen this mentioned a lot, right? When they talk about whether it's a question, what do you bring to the table? What do you have? What can you offer, right? And with a lot of black women, one of the more common things that I see is they always describe themselves as fun, right? Fun girls are fun girls for a reason, and because they don't get wifed up. All right, there's a reason why these girls don't get wifed up, because they're for fun. All right, so if they're in a relationship with you and you're out here trying to have fun, well, that's on you once you end up falling flat on your face. That's the thing, man. We play too many games in these relationships. We gotta stop this. Too many games being played out here. We gotta knock that shit off. Every time it doesn't even have to be in relationships, right? Look at Sha'Carri Richardson when it comes to track and field, and some of these female artists out here, right? Y'all all here trying to play games, right? And these other competitions and these other sisters coming from the continent and these other races and whatnot coming out here taking your man and beating you out in these other categories, right? You guys are losing because they came here to win. All right, they came here to basically clean the house, and y'all out here having fun playing games. We don't have time for that. You don't have time for that. So when you're sitting there saying, okay, I divorced 3 good men, but they had fun. How do you know they had fun? Was it fun for them going to divorce court? I didn't have fun in going through that shit. I didn't have fun playing when I had to go to family court. So I don't know if it was fun for you, but it certainly wasn't fun for them. And if you're only thinking about it being fun because it's fun for you, you're a narcissist. You're a psychopath. You're on a completely different level of crazy, and no man should invest in you. Matter of fact, any man that chooses to deal with you from this point on is on some PJ Washington status, okay? You are on some super simp clown status, because only a PJ Washington dummy would look at this evidence that is displayed to you online and willfully ignore it just to chase the box. So just keep that in mind.
I mean, but I'm not. I mean, but that's the sport about, right? You win, you lose, right? You're supposed to size up your opponent and get to the point where you're supposed to be the victor, correct?
Wow, I have never heard a woman speak.
I'm done. I can't. I thought I could go a little longer, but I don't know. I will link the full live plus a timestamp in the description below, so you guys can go and watch the full mess for yourself. But it is nuts, and this lady is a professional. She is a pharmacist, okay? So I don't know where y'all get your drugs from. All right, hey, some of y'all pill poppers out here, all right? Some of you pink pill, blue pill, red pill, purple pills, all right? If y'all getting your pills from her, especially you red pill dudes, I understand, okay? Y'all popping pills from this woman? Oh God. I can see why y'all bitter, okay? Because this woman is horrible, okay? But I want to leave you guys with a thought here, all right? Especially some of you guys who are married and some of you guys who are thinking about getting married. Think about this, all right? Because it's something said in this manosphere community often a lot, okay? We talk about how, when it comes to divorce, all's fair in love and war, okay? All's fair in love and war, meaning like you got to turn into an absolute general, all right? And I'm speaking to the dudes right now, especially when you're going to the divorce court. I did it. It worked for me. I can say it. And the reason why I did it was, A, I got pushed by the police officers to do it. We're dealing with the whole child situation, right? But A, and B, I had good lawyers. I surrounded myself with good lawyers. Not only no, you got to get a good lawyer who's actually going to be out for your back. Who actually, here's the thing, y'all don't know. A lot of these lawyers they're actually like they network well with some of these judges and some of these lawyers. Matter of fact, my lawyer was like knew my ex's lawyer too as well. So like they were colleagues. They've already done work, and they would talk back and forth, and they already had connections with the judge too as well. So you gotta understand, when you get into this court system, these lawyers, depending on the attorney you got, they're all networking within each other. So you find yourself a good one, and you make it willing that I'm a fight. Like we going all out. The gauntlets are out, motherfucker. We going, right? Once you make that clear, you gotta have a lawyer that's gonna be able to help you find the angles that you can win, because that's how you really get over on these people, man. A lot of these bras are expecting you to be stupid, especially when you're going through the situation. So it's not that freaking hard. Literally I know it's expensive. I know it's gonna dry your pockets, okay? But it's absolutely worth it if you want the results that you want, okay? And you gotta take these women, you gotta take them to court, and you gotta be vicious with it. Do not even play games, because guess what? And she just said it herself. She sizes up guys like you to make sure that you're not going to put up a fight after she's done with you. All right? So keep that in mind. If there's any other game you're going to peep from the session right now, if there's any other freaking game you're going to peep this. Become a general when the game's over, because these women out here, they not playing with your ass. With that being said, hit that sub button, hit that like button. If you like what you see, go ahead and hit that share button. We'll be back at it again with some more video. Catch you on the next one. Peace.